Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Band of Outlaws Starcraft 2 1v1 tournament. In today's game, we have two competitors from Group A. We have up in the top left-hand corner, we have the blue Protoss Vinux. And in the bottom right corner, we have the pink Terran Kael. Now, this is the last game for Group A. We'll have a little bit of discussion after this game about the final standings for this group and potential implications going into the knockout stages. Now we can see here quite early on we've got Kael, he's gone straight in for two supply depots here, and unfortunately we can see here that this SCV, he hasn't managed to rally that back to the mineral field there. Hopefully he manages to get that done soon. And we can see he's also done quite a quick refinery, and he hasn't rallied a second worker into there, and he's also got a barracks going up now. Now if we look on Vinux's side, he's just building a second pylon here. He should be placing a gateway down roughly about now, along with an assimilator. There we go. There's the gateway. He's still building some probes, which is good, but he needs to be getting those assimilators down as well, trying to get some gas as much as he can. You can see that we've got a probe coming in to scout here, see how much information he can get. But this barracks that Kael's got down here, that should be completed, and he should be able to get a marine out sometime soon to get rid of this scout here. Now it looks like Vinux is actually going to be getting quite a lot of information here. Everything he needs. You can see that the barracks is down, and you can see as well. Actually, let's have a look. You can see that the engineering bay was in fact being built as well. So that's all the information he's got there. He hasn't actually seen the gas down here, which is quite an important one. So that could mean, you know, he's going into something like Reapers. But in fact, if we have a look, we can see that he's just gone straight for the 5 Marines here, and he's building a Ghost Academy actually. Okay, that's quite interesting. Maybe seen some ghosts, maybe seen some nukes coming out of Kael here. I wonder how Vinux is going to deal with this one. We can see over on Vinux's side, he's just got the cybernetics core coming down now, and I was going to bring up the fact that he didn't have any workers in the second assimilator, but he solved that no problem. Unfortunately, this probe, it looks like he's actually going into a natural expansion. There at the 2-minute mark, that's a little bit behind, but it's you know, he's got one down, so it's good that he's making progress there. And we can see, actually, down here at the bottom, there is a proxy pylon that has been placed by Vinux. That's quite interesting. We might see, you know, we might see some aggression out of this one. It is quite far away from the main base. That has been put on what I'd say is maybe the 5th base. That's quite far away. We can see actually the Vinux up here. He's seen that there has been no command center built with the natural. So that must give him some information about maybe Kael's gone in for some form of all-in. Interestingly enough, nothing's being researched from these Ghost Academies, and still only one worker on each of these refineries here, and still no add-on to the barracks here, either a reactor or a tech lab. Neither one there. And it does look like Vinux is going into a robotics bay. I would like to see maybe a few more gateways go down so we can get some stalkers and some immortals in there, get some pressure down, so that if Kael goes into a factory anytime soon and gets some siege tanks out, or maybe even widow mines, that this can be dealt with quite nicely. We may want to get an observer out quite soon as this robotics bay goes down, so we can get more information than he has already. Let's have a quick look in to see what they can both see. So Kael hasn't actually scouted and got any information at all. And he is actually moving out with a marine now. Where's this rallied to? Aha, I see. So it's been rallied to just outside the natural of Vinux here. Might be able to get some information. He won't want to move that in because that will get killed quite soon. And oh, we have another proxy pylon that has been completed by Vinux, but it has been spotted by Kael, so he's going to dispatch that one fairly quickly. And he's building more marines here. Maybe he'll, after these ones have completed, he'll build one of these upgrades for it. And he is a little bit oversaturated on the on his mineral field there, but it looks like he's going to be sorting that out, and hopefully after he's finished training all these SCVs, he'll go into an orbital command or a planetary fortress. Over on Vinux's side, he's looking, his economy's looking all right. He's got his mineral count quite low. He's getting some upgrades for his ground units. It looks like he's going into armor there. He has a few more gateways going down, and he's got a Twilight Cattle going down as well. He may want to look into getting this Vespene gas here, just so he can get his production, keep his production up, and keep cranking out units as soon as the warp gates are up, and as soon as the so he can get these immortals out as soon as he can. What I've noticed is he hasn't actually used the chrono boost, because he could actually boost to get this ground armor done quite a bit quicker. We can see down here on Kael's side, he's going into the factory now. He's probably going to want to get some siege tanks out at this point to try and deal with the immortals and the stalkers here. Of course, he doesn't actually know what's going on because he hasn't scouted, other than with this marine here. It's quite unfortunate the position of it. He can't really see the units coming down the ramp here. So if they were to move out, he wouldn't really have any information until they hit his main base here. Okay, so we still haven't seen an expansion coming out, and Kael's floating around 2,400 minerals. He's really going to need to expand out quite soon, otherwise his mineral fields are going to be they're starting to get depleted. You can see this one here; it's only got 320 minerals left. Vinux, he's finally got his gas up on his natural, which is good. He's also researching the blink technology for the stalkers. Unfortunately, he hasn't got any workers rallied into the assimilators yet, and there is also a pylon which is unfortunately blocking the path, which will mean that that's a little bit of a slower gathering process when he gets those in there. Vinux, he's going into the ground armor, the second level ground armor, and he's also getting a robotics bay, which means it's looking like he's wanting to go into Colossus, which could be interesting. He'll definitely need to be gathering from these two assimilators if he wants to get enough gas to be able to make them. And he has actually expanded into 3 more warp gates, which is good. That'll mean that he'll be able to get even more units out with the amount of minerals and gas that he is harvesting. Interestingly enough, he still hasn't used anything on this pylon down here. You'd usually expect, if you're going with a proxy pylon, that you'd want a gateway down there to get warp-ins faster, but we can see that Vinux is actually moving in towards the base of Kael here now, and towards the natural. Now, has he A-moved is the question. It doesn't look like he's A-moved, so he's going to lose a stalker there. He might even lose a second one. Oh, no, Vinux has finally recognised what's going on, and he's finally taken down all these marines out of the natural. Now, interestingly enough, Kael has got some Widow Mines, which it doesn't look like he's actually going to bury. He wants to bury those so that he can actually get their damage off. And it looks like that's not going to be happening. All the marines have fallen. All the units from Kael have fallen down. Still no additions to the factory or the barracks here. Yeah, it does look like Vinux, he might want to. Looks like he was retreating there, but maybe that might have been a misclick. Has he created more units? No, he has warped in more units down here from this proxy pylon, and he's rallying them into the base now. And it looks like that's a done deal for Vinux over Kael there. Unfortunately, he hasn't rallied these workers back to the base, and he doesn't know what to do. At this point, all the unit producing facilities have been destroyed. At this point, it looks like a formal surrender is all that's going to be left for Kael. But he's moved in the SCVs to try and fight off these units, but they're just like they're like butter on bread. That's a terrible analogy, but anyway, they get absolutely decimated immediately. Command Center goes down there from Kael, and it just looks like he's just using the units to mop up all the final bits of Kael's army here, and the last bits of his buildings. Those Colossus are being built, but it looks like he's not going to need them, as he's just slowly destroying these buildings. He's not actually rallied all of his units to come in and destroy them, so it looks like we're just going to be waiting here for a little bit longer. Oh, there we go. So just coming in, destroying the last buildings, and there we go. Victory for Vinux. Alright, so with this, that marks the final game of uh, Group A. Now, if we take a look into this group, we can see at the top of Group A we have TBC Anselm. He won all three of his games there. In second place we have Private Grey. He had 2 wins and a single loss in there. And in third place we have Vinux with scoring that 1 win, which we just saw just then. And in last place we have Kael. Now, the group stages of the Boo Olympics are primarily just used for the seeding into the final stages, and we can't see into the final knockout stage until all of the groups are completed. But this seeding's looking good so far, and if we compare that to Group D as well, it looks like we've got some good contenders in Arcs Gaming and Anselm here. This could be quite interesting. We've got a few results left to play in Group B and Group C, and hopefully they'll be recorded as well, and we'll get those uploaded as well. But for now, I am Anselm, and thank you for watching. See you next time.